U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. Maxine Waters is at it again. During a speech over the weekend, Waters once again openly threatened supporters of President Donald Trump. Not only is this unethical for a member of Congress, this is unacceptable behavior for any human being, much less one who can influence the factions of leftists. Waters bragged in a snarky tone as she threatens Trump supporters all the time. Well, that's when she got a real nasty surprise. Representative Maxine Waters, who is not the most stable person in the world, appears to have gone off the deep end again. The California Democrat has long called for the impeachment of President Donald Trump, but on Saturday she went further, much further, while accepting an award from the Stonewall Young Democrats in Los Angeles. Waters was recalling her infamous speech from June when she said, "Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd and you push back on them and you tell them they're not welcome anymore anywhere." Mad Maxine had ethics violations charged against her for that display, but as if this writing, Congress has yet to discipline her. So she took it further last Saturday, saying in her snarky tone, "There are those who said we lacked civility when I got up and talked about the president's cabinet, and I said if you see them anywhere, if you see them at a restaurant, if you see them in a department store, even at a gasoline station, just tell them you're not welcome here or anywhere." Waters continued, and so it frightened a lot of people, and of course the lying president said that I had threatened all of his constituents. I did not threaten his constituents, his supporters. I do that all the time, but I didn't do it that time. As if that makes it okay. We know what she meant. But she wasn't finished spewing her rhetoric. When I compare what you're doing with what we have in Washington, D.C., in the highest office in the land, I wake up in the middle of the night and all I can think about is this: I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him, she said. Well, the only one she's going to get is herself, but that's besides the point. And as you know, there's a difference in how some of our leadership talk about how we should handle all of this. They say, "Maxine, please don't say impeachment anymore." And when they say that, I say, "Impeachment, impeachment, impeachment." And she goes on. Waters said to more cheers. Yeah, the dumb followers. Let's see what the crowd looks like, but they'll never show us the crowd. Waters said after ousting Trump, she'd go after Vice President Mike Pence. I had a conversation here today with someone who asked, well, what about Pence? If you were able to impeach Pence, Pence will be worse. Well, I said, look one at a time. You knock one down and we'll be ready for Pence. We'll get him too, she said. The woman is delusional, but let's take a quick listen.
Up in my seat at my desk because I think we've got to get this thing straight. We don't ask permission to protest. We protest.
They don't show the crowd, I guess.
We understand that we have to make America hear us.
Yeah, you can hear by the clapping.
And understand that we
let's see the crowd.
Elected officials. Let's get done.
Let's see the crowd.
With justice and equality. I'm a strong believer in fairness.
How about 10 people, maybe?
Basically, am moved in extraordinary ways to try and make sure that this country has equal opportunity for everybody. And so I'm going to continue in that work. I thank you for honoring me here today. I thank the young Stonewall Democrats for the work that you're doing.
Well, there's about 15 people there.
For the work that you're doing.
20?
I thank our elected officials. Let's get more.
Yeah, right, Maxine. Well, there's about 20 people in the crowd there. Well, needless to say, Maxine went so far off the rails, Trump supporters gave the Dragon Lady a nasty surprise. Twitter user Christopher posted, "You're not welcome here." That sounds an awful lot like discrimination and harassment to me, Max. I think we'll see our president in office for 6 more years. The question is, will you be around long enough to see it too? Eric Bonillo, a legal immigrant, tweeted, "For the people who are laughing hysterically there, I come from a nation that had same speech. It's called Venezuela. This is not funny or cool. This will get back at you and bite you in the butt." Is no game she is playing with fire, and you're the ones who will get burned. Yeah, let's take a quick...
Who said that we like civility when I got up and talked about the president's cabinet, and I said, if you see him anywhere, if you see him at a restaurant, if you see him in a department store, even at a gasoline station, just tell him you're not welcome here or anywhere. And so it frightened a lot of people. And of course, the lying president said that I had threatened all of his constituents. I did not threaten his constituents, his supporters. I do that all the time, but I didn't do it that time.
Oh, that was real funny, right? Well, thousands of Americans were livid, and they let Wacky Waters know she's nothing but a leftist thug who lives in a $4.2 million mansion, refusing to live in her own gang-infested district in Watts. Others were laughing at Mad Maxine. She could only draw about 50 people to her big speech and fundraiser. You give her that many? I think it was more like 25. Yet, as funny as it is that only 50 people showed up for the California Congresswoman, her rhetoric is dangerous. If she isn't censured by Congress after this, then we know the fix is in. Spread the word, share this information. It's time Waters is brought to justice for inciting violence. If we don't keep calling for her removal, she only gets more emboldened to talk her smack. It's time for Auntie Maxine to go for good. Yeah, to Gitmo, that's where she should go. But you know what the thing is? Nobody is listening to her. Nobody's listening to her. You see the crowds. I mean, people are waking up. They don't like this kind of trash.